Holy shit, so much has happened. Right. I'm going to take you across the map so that you can, like, see what we're doing. Also, for folks that haven't played the game yet, there is going to be huge fucking spoilers in this tonight. I'm going to try and finish the game. I'm going to spoil a lot of it now. So, yes, we are now on chapter 10 and we were on chapter 3. So I'm going to catch you all up on what's happened. Right. Hi, Dom. Are you ready for the abridged version? Dom and Countess, feel free to jump in with bits that I miss. Okay, so we were like around here. We were doing a delivery with Fragile. Long story short is Fragile was framed by Higgs, who is Troy Baker, who is the leader of a terrorist group, and he framed her with a bomb. So everybody thought that she was responsible for creating this crater right here and for trying to bomb South Knot City, which is the one that's all the way down here. So basically what happened was he put a bomb in Fragile's delivery things and she had to run through the rain, which makes you old, it saps your life away, to throw the bomb into a crater lake so it would go off and not blow up the city. So she kind of sacrificed herself to do that. Fucking Troy Baker, indeed. Troy Baker then gave me a bomb. He was like, careful, it's fragile, to me. And I was like, oh, it's Troy Baker. And he gave me a bomb. And I had to do the same thing. I had to run to the lake near South Knot City and throw the bomb into the lake. And then Fragile was like, oh, Troy Baker did this to me. And it was amazing. It was a fucking great cutscene. Absolutely fantastic. Then chapter 4 happened. Chapter 4 was Mads Mikkelsen, where I get put into a storm. I have to go to Mama's lab. I got put into a storm in World War One. Don't ask me why. And I had to hunt down Mads Mikkelsen in the trenches. And he was going, BB, where's my BB? And he was like really upset. He thought I'd stolen his BB. And he was trying to get it back. And then he like grabbed my face and like tried to strangle me. And I was like, oh no, it's Mads Mikkelsen. And then I beat him up and I went back. And fucking Norman Reedus was like, some man grabbed me and I was in war. And Mama was like, no, you weren't. You were just here. You were only offline for like a second. Anyway, Dad's Mikkelsen indeed. Ned, I'm going to try and explain it in a good way, okay? So that was that. And then I had to, Mama gave me some things to do. Oh, yeah, big mindfuck. Mama had a BT stuck to her. So Mama was basically, she was pregnant. And she was in a hospital getting ready to give birth. And the hospital fell and crushed her. And her baby died while she was giving birth. But the baby's BT remained tied to her. So the baby's BT was the reason why she was found. So this all happened like in, I don't know, in somewhere, but this is Mama's lab down here. So she had a BT that was like attached to her. And then she was like, your Cupid's broken. Yes, I did find Conan O'Brien. I got his little otter suit and I wiggled through the water in my otter suit. So Mama was like, right, I need you to go and get your Cupid fixed by someone in Mountain Knot City. Mountain Knot City is all the way up this road, all the way around here, all the way over here. So I could have gone directly across the mountains, or I could have gone all the way around, and I chose to go all the way around because Die Hard Man was like, there's some places that you need to put on the map up here and over here, and it's going to be great, and we'll connect, make America whole again, Sam. And, you know, yeah. So you get to Mountain Knot City, and you find Mama's twin sister, whose name is Lochner. And she was like, fuck you, we're not joining the UCA. And then she, like, told me to piss off, basically. And she's the only person that could fix my Cupid, which is my little necklace that connects people up. And then you have to do a bunch of shit, and then it's like, can you go and talk to Mama for me? You go back and you see Mama, and Mama's like, I fixed your cufflinks, and now they can cut BT cords, so would you please separate me from my daughter? And she tells you that she doesn't want children, and her eggs are no good, but Lochner's uterus isn't good, but she wants children, so they decided to have a baby together, and they took They took Lochner's dead husband's eggs. No, sperm. It's all about sperm in this game. And they made it with Lochner's eggs and then gave it to Mama. And then Mama had the baby. But then she lost the baby and Lochner was pissed off because she thought that Mama had run away with the baby. So you sever Lochner's baby's cord and the baby goes back off up into the sky as a BT and it's fine. And then you take Mama to see her sister. And Stephen was like, oh, you should have done that thing where you get the zip lines over the mountains, it would have helped you. And I was like, fuck you. And I like zoomed all the way around on all the roads that I've built. All the orange lines are roads, by the way. I've done a lot of road building. And then I delivered Mama to Lochner and she died. Turns out Lochner and Mama, my theory for why they're like this, I'll say in a second, but Lochner and Mama are connected, like they are psychic, they have like a psychic connection, they share a soul. So they were conjoined twins and who were separated at birth. So my theory is it's all about souls and bodies. Their bodies and their soul were one when they were born and then they were separated. So that's why they have the connection. And then when Mama died, when Mama's baby died, her soul joined with the BT instead. So that is explained a little bit later on that she died with it, but the BT kept her alive. It kept her tied to this world. So that's why the connection disappeared between the two of them. So when Mama dies, she goes into Lochner's brain. So when we see Lochner and she's like talking to herself, that is why. Chapter 6 was Deadman's chapter. Chapter 6 was Deadman. So Deadman is Guillermo del Toro. He gets in your shower with you. He goes and gets in the shower with you in Mountain Knot City. And he's like, I suspect Die Hard Man. He's like getting right up in your face. He's like, I suspect Die Hard Man for doing this thing. And you're like, whoa, I have like a fucking phobia of people touching me. Get out of my face, please, Guillermo del Toro. I definitely shouted at him as well when I was playing this section. And Deadman takes your BB from you. He's like, your BB is basically meant to be suspended in between the living world and the dead world as a bridge. They're called bridge babies. That is their thing. And right now, your BB is swaying more towards the world of the living, so we have to fix it. I'm going to take it away from you. You have to spread yourselves out so that you don't have your connection so strong so that we can realign the BB with the world of the dead, or the plane of the dead, the beach, essentially. So that it's a bridge again, not a living baby, because it can't survive as a living baby. And then you do all these different things, connect all these different people up, and you go to see Deadman. He's like, your BB's fixed, bitch! And then you like go to see him, and you get another storm, you get transported into World War II this time, and Dads Mikkelsen is hunting you in some sewers, and in like an abandoned church and shit, and fucking Deadman's running around like with your BB, like, oh my god, he's chasing me, kind of thing, and you have to take your BB back, and then go and kill Dads Mikkelsen again. At which point you find out that he was a captain in something. He was a captain, basically. And everything gets recorded from that thing, and Deadman's like, yeah, I back him up, like, seriously. This is a thing that's happened. And then you go to Hartman, because Hartman wants Mama's body, and he also wants to hear about your experiences. And then you go see Hartman. He's in his little, he's got a heart-shaped lake look. He's got a proper fucking swanky house. It's amazing. And he's like, right, so I die every 21 minutes and spend 3 minutes in the real world dead, but I can spend as long as I want on the beach because I'm looking for my wife and my daughter. He died when the Death Stranding happened because he was in the middle of heart surgery and all the power failed, and he died for a few minutes. So he saw his beach. He saw his wife and his daughter leaving, and then somebody brought him back. So he now dies every 21 minutes and does all his, like, reviving himself shit. And he says that Mama's body did not decompose. Mama's body did not have the necrosis process that everyone else's bodies have. She wasn't consumed by BTs. She wasn't hunted by BTs. She just died and didn't decay. This is the interesting part. The same thing is said of the umbilical cord from Bridget, who was the president. And I was like, why the fuck do they have that? Why have they got her umbilical cord? Like, what? So, I think this is tied to Amelie. Anyway, oh yeah, Hartman does give you likes. He's like, and then he's like, no bad thing. And then he gives you some back again. If you just look at things in his office, he's like, likes. So then Hartman is like, right, we've got all these scientists spread around in the mountains. They're all up and around here. I want you to go and connect them all up. And they're all examining different aspects of the Death Stranding and what it might mean and what the beach is and what the BTs are and, you know. So, yeah. Mr. Coffington, thank you. Jake Man Pickles. Okay, I know who you are.
Pickles.
I know who you are, Mr. Coffington. Hi, thank you for the resubscription. Enjoy your sub badge. Enjoy your emotes. One more to be coming soon. And everybody gets emotes in the chat as well. I don't know if they're trying to create a great one with the umbilical cord. I promise we're nearly done as well. This is where it gets really mindfucky. Then Hartman is like, right, so there's a high concentration of chiralium in Mama, who had dooms, and the umbilical cord from Bridget, which I'm assuming was Amelie's umbilical cord. So you're like, okay, cool. And then you have to go and set up a new, like, outpost down here. And then, this part was amazing. So, it's not mindfucky already. You get to the Tar Belt, which you have to cross you have to go over here and cross it to get to Edge Knot City, which is your final connection point. And you're looking at the Tar Belt and you're surrounded by BTs and you're like, well, how the fuck do I get over here then? And I worked it out. I don't know how easy this is for people, but basically, Die Hardman is like, so you might have acquired some things on your travels that might help you out, and, you know, you might know how to cross this Tar Belt, but we have no fucking clue, and you can't manufacture anything out there. So, I was, like, floating around in the BT area, and I was like, oh god, there's so many BTs, they're fucking everywhere. And then I turned to Steven, and I was like, does it want me to do what I think it wants me to do? And he was like, yes. And basically, when you are grabbed by a catcher BT, it does say what to do in an email, but it doesn't directly tell you. So when you are grabbed by a catcher BT, old buildings come out of the ground. It basically brings things back. So the tar functions as like a gateway to the beach. And the beach is an area that exists outside of time. And therefore, when the tar sucks in the buildings and shit, when there's a void out, the buildings are then preserved. So when the BTs come out and they're like, rah, I'm gonna get you, and all the tar bubbles up, all the buildings come back out again. Way to cross the Tar Belt. But it tells you in an email, it's like, so the tar can store things from the past and keep them preserved. And I was like, it wants me to get grabbed, doesn't it? Everything in my body is screaming at me to not get grabbed by BTs. And I was just like, okay. And I just like ran. And then it grabbed me and there was like thousands of fucking tar whales everywhere jumping around through all the tar. And I was like, oh my god. And I got to Edge Knot City. Well, no, I got to the other side of the Tar Belt. And then it got very weird very quickly. And I was told that I have to get through this little bit of area to get to the Edge Knot City outpost. So I went there, and there was like these brain jellyfish things. B for an SEO, I appreciate the follows while I'm doing my crazy like mind theory things. So there's like these, they look like mind flayers basically, and they float around, they go like all around you, and they explode when they hit the ground, so you can't trigger them. And then I got to Edge Knot City, I got it online. Amelie's like, I'm on my beach, Higgs will never find me. Higgs is like, fuck you, I'm gonna find her. And then Higgs comes along with a giant BT, you know, the huge ones that eat people with the golden hands for their head. Amelie is like trapped in its chest. And then you want me to narrate Dark Souls when... Oh, Death Stranding. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I can do that, Sebastian. I can do it. Have you not played it yet? There's going to be spoilers. We're like right near the end. And then this giant BT comes along and Higgs is like, ha ha ha, extinction event is happening. And basically, in this one fell swoop, it tells you that Amelie is an extinction entity. And Amelie is basically going to bring about a mass extinction across the Earth. There's been 5 extinction events before now, which were, trilobites, ammonites, dinosaurs, mammoths, icemen. I've been learning things. And then Amelie is going to be the 6th, which is what caused the Death Stranding. Something about Amelie is causing the BTs to be a thing, and it's going to reach critical mass, and there'll be such a void out that it's going to destroy life on Earth, essentially. You've already seen the movie version on YouTube, so you don't care about spoilers. Okay, cool, that's fine. So you're like, right, okay, fuck. And Higgs is like, why not bring about this apocalypse now? What are you going to do to stop me? And I'm like, I'm going to fire my rocket launcher at your giant BT, and then I'm going to take Amelie back. That all happens. Then you go to the beach, and Higgs like strings Amelie up in a fucking spider's web. And then you beat Higgs up, and Fragile comes along, and she's like, I want the last hit. I want to be the one to do it, basically. And that's that. And then Amelie says to you, we gotta go, like, we'll go back. And then, this fucking line, me and Countess were laughing about this earlier. So, I'm trying to remember the right way to say this. So, they are ready to leave, and Fragile walks off. She's like, fuck you, you're choosing her over us, kind of thing. After she's, like, pissed you around, basically. And, Norman Reedus is like, so how do we get back? Do we jump like Fragile? And he's like, she says, no, we can just walk all the way there on my beach. And Norman Reedus is like, wait, what? You could have like used your beach to travel anytime. And she's like, it was Die Hard Man's idea. He told me to use myself to make you connect the world up. And I was like, fuck you, Emily. And then they make up. Like, for some bizarre reason, they make up. And then, like, he says, because he's like, oh, it's like fucking Super Mario and Princess Peach. And she's like, we're going to run like Mario and Princess Peach. And I was like... And then, Jack and Nori with Ellie Joy Panic. Amazing. So, this is where I am at, basically. I have just had a cutscene where I get to the edge of a cliff, and Amelie is like, wait here. And obviously Norman Reedus, being Norman Reedus, is like, why would I wait here? And he follows her up this cliff. And you look over the edge of the cliff. This is where my mad theories come into play as well. You look over the cliff, and there is Die Hard Man and Bridget on the beach. They're talking. You hear their conversation. He's got a gun pointed at her. And then she says something, I can't remember what it was that she said, and then fucking Mads Mikkelsen comes out of the sea with his soldiers. And then Mads Mikkelsen is like pointing a gun at Die Hard Man, and Die Hard Man's apologizing. He takes Die Hard Man's mask off, and Die Hard Man says that his name is John. I'll get back to that in a second. And then Mads Mikkelsen is like, where's my BB? And then Bridget is like, that bitch has got it over there, basically pointing at me. Amelie is nowhere to be seen. Then, all of a sudden, Amelie is next to me, and she's like, go! Stay away! And she, like, pushes me off of the cliff. Bridget is no longer on the beach. There is Die Hard Man, and there is Clifford Unger, Mads Mikkelsen. Okay. Then, we have a BB memory. So I'm just going to recap the BB memories real fast. We have to get back to Capital Knot City, all the way over on the East Coast, where Fragile, Lochner, Mama, Hartman, and Deadman are waiting for me. Die Hardman is apparently on the beach. I don't know. So, the BB cutscenes, from what I can gather so far, is Dads Mikkelsen had a baby with his wife, and his wife, for some reason, was in a coma. And the baby was put in a pod, the BB pod, by the looks of things, and then Dads Mikkelsen is, like, talking to the BB for, like, the whole time. He then steals the BB and gets shot, and then he's singing the song to the BB. And that's as far as I've seen with that part. There is another part where a mysterious man comes into the room, and the voice is like really muffled because you're underwater as the BB. And it says, "I didn't realize it was you, Captain. I'm sorry." And like, because he says like, "Oh, it's John" or something. So that man was Die Hardman that came to see Mads Mikkelsen. Okay. Then, so clearly Die Hardman has fucked over Mads Mikkelsen here in some way. Then, just before I finished, there was a cutscene with Bridget wearing Die Hardman's mask and Die Hardman with the BB. No Mads Mikkelsen to be found. And they say something along the lines of, "This is a perfect specimen, like a perfect candidate for a BB." And then Bridget goes up real close, and then she's like, "Or a sacrifice." So, yeah. That's basically where I'm at. So I think that they used the BB to create Amelie in the beach, which is why Bridget's umbilical cord was connected to the beach and to Amelie. Amelie exists outside of time. She doesn't age. And she said, "My body is still trapped on the beach." She said that right at the beginning. But also, I think that Bridget might be Amelie. I'm not sure if Bridget, like, sacrificed herself with the BB to create Amelie, because right at the very, very start, when Bridget dies, she morphs into Amelie as Amelie is saying, "I'll meet you on our beach. Make America whole again." So, this is, like, 24 minutes of the recap. This is where I'm at. I've got to go all the way back east. I can't jump, so I'm going to use all my roads and my zip lines. We're going to smash through this. We've got a lot of cutscenes coming. I know that there's a lot of cutscenes coming. Who isn't following? Who's not following what we're doing? Because holy shit, this has been a ride. So now we're on chapter 10. It is Die Hardman's chapter. We are having a fucking wonderful time.